Welcome back to the Daily Bitcoin 5. 5 stories every day that matter to Bitcoin. Today on the Bitcoin 5, bipartisan support for the Clarity Act builds. Let's go. Before the stories, the Bitcoin price check. Current price, about $64,000. Bitcoin trades essentially flat over the short term, down by less than 0.25% from 4 days ago, and up a modest less than 0.5% over the past month. The most striking metric remains the 4-year trajectory. BTC has surged 207% since July 2022's about $20,800 price point, though it's currently sitting 9.3% below March's about $70,500 level. Story 5. Historical drawdown data points to diminishing Bitcoin. Volatility. An analysis of Bitcoin's historical drawdown patterns reveals a consistent trend. Each cycle's maximum decline from peak has been smaller than the last. The data shows 2014's brutal minus 87% crash, followed by 2018's minus 84% drop, then 2022's minus 77% drawdown, with the current cycle showing just minus 49% from the all-time high of about $126,000. This progressive reduction in maximum drawdown percentages suggests Bitcoin is maturing as an asset class, with deeper liquidity and broader holder bases preventing the extreme volatility of earlier cycles. Story 4. Executive Chairman Michael Saylor made a forceful case for corporate Bitcoin adoption, arguing that for Bitcoin to succeed as a global monetary network, corporate adoption is necessary, inevitable, and welcome. His statement pushes back against Bitcoin purists who view corporate treasury strategies skeptically. Saylor emphasized that companies enable people to organize under law around a shared mission with greater efficiency, transparency, creditworthiness, scale, resilience, and continuity. This framing positions corporations not as threats to Bitcoin's ethos, but as essential infrastructure for scaling adoption beyond individual holders. Story 3. VanEck's $237 billion ETF scoops up over $200 million of strategies. A major institutional vote of confidence hit the Bitcoin treasury company space as VanEck's $237 billion ETF disclosed a purchase of more than $200 million worth of strategies STRC shares. The massive position represents significant institutional validation of the Bitcoin treasury company model and strategy's dual entity structure. Story 2. Japan's Bitcoin Japan Corporation launches treasury strategy with $4 million Bitcoin. The purchase marks another international company joining the growing roster of firms using Bitcoin as a treasury asset. The convertible bond structure mirrors the playbook popularized by Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy in the US, allowing the company to raise capital at favorable rates while maintaining flexibility for investors. While the initial allocation represents less than 7% of the total raise, it establishes Bitcoin Japan Corporation as Asia's latest public company treasury adopter. Story 1. Senate pushes toward Clarity Act vote as bipartisan support builds. The crypto industry's long-awaited regulatory framework appears headed for a Senate floor vote as soon as next week. Multiple representatives confirmed momentum during today's House Financial Services Committee field hearing, with Reps. Brian Steele telling Fox he's optimistic that we get this across the line next week in the United States Senate. The Blockchain Association Board Chair noted a lot of negotiations with Democrats and emphasized bipartisan backing for the legislation. That's today's Bitcoin 5. Let me know your favorite story from today in the comments below and subscribe now so tomorrow's update lands directly in your feed. I'll see you tomorrow.